Knowing statistics like this are real begs the question, why do some men take dating apps seriously? The experiences of men and women on Tinder. Women match with 36% of those that they like, while men match with less than 2%. Like and match, like but not match, pass. Oh my god! 95% pass?! Do you want to know why? Because women are the pickiest pickers now. I also think a big factor of it is that we've become so desensitized, and first glance impressions are like everything. Back in the day, like in the 1950s, when you'd go to like an ice cream shop and you'd see a cute girl, you'd shoot your shot, and sometimes I feel like the culture has changed where it's like almost impolite to say no. And you'd usually try and give them a chance, and then you'd get to know someone, like on a personal level. I feel like that's a big factor. I think culturally it's just devolved into like, oh, swipe, 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 swipe. Do that today, like we get labeled a creep. I think there's a lot of that too, yeah. You also gotta remember that for men, half of those ones, they are swiping right on their fake accounts made to funnel people into Instagram and OF. Oh, that's another big fucking factor. You're completely right. So, it's become so bad. This is why I think OnlyFans is also like an epidemic that's kind of like destroying the dating scene. Because on Twitch, on Twitter, and even on YouTube, actually, recently, I remember someone talking about this. I think it was Moist Critical. He said that there was a woman that breastfed using a fake baby to show how to quote-unquote breastfeed, and it was just a ploy to get people to click her OnlyFans. But it's like the same thing, but with like the dating thing. Because in the dating app, they get you to click on it, and then it's like, oh, check out my OF. Is the woman equivalent of the did the Nares' butthole? I can't believe that's a thing, man. I'm still, like, in shock. And it's full-blown, like, just butthole, balls, and dick and everything. God, it's so bad. 3 seconds in, yes! It's not even like we talk about it and then like, okay guys, I'm gonna go do it. It's like, blah, 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 boom, butthole. It's like, okay. There's this chick out there that does OF, but promotes it by creeping onto blacksmithing YouTube sections. There's, OF bots all over YouTube sections too that copy people's comments, and then they get more engagement because they have a girl profile picture too. And then people click on the profile, and usually it's like an OF link somehow. Linking back to Discord with extremely unsavory stuff, disgusting. Yeah, that too. Alana, you should make an OF for your character. You would make bank. Ah, yes. Everything I do is for money. You're right. Correct. Girl profile pictures are the best way to get people to talk to you? Yep. That's why people used to dance on mailboxes on World of Warcraft as female night elves. Why do you think people did it? YouTube needs to crack down the comments. Yeah. They're probably not going to. They finally started cracking down on the Twitter bots and the Twitter AI bots, but I still see them on occasion. They're not that common anymore, though. OF has given a Linktree a bad name too that should have been ruined by OF girls because now everyone sees Linktree and thinks it's 50-50% the person has an OF. Oh yeah! So on Twitch you are not allowed to, like, it is a bannable thing to link your OnlyFans directly using the Twitch linking tool, But what you can do to circumvent that is link a link tree and then put a link of your OnlyFans or your Fansly into the website so that technically you can't get banned for it. No wonder I see Linktree under all those profiles. Yep. I have a Linktree. I do, but that's because I have a lot of links. It's not that serious, chat, I swear. Do you think it's harder for people to date someone online than it is IRL? Yes, absolutely. People are very shallow, and I feel like humans are extremely social creatures, and COVID really showed that. Because a lot of people's relationships and their social relationships and their social development was either destroyed or hampered due to COVID. And even the most introverted person was infected in some kind of way. There are exceptions where they just didn't care. But I think a large majority of people felt the effects of COVID, and I think that it's proof that social media and like Tinder and Bumble and all those dating apps are not good for dating. It's very shallow. You don't get to know someone. They can't get to know you. It's really bad. Sexual chemistry will affect a ton of serious long-term relationships, man. I don't know what the hell sexual chemistry is. You're implying I have sex! Grindr as well. I don't- wait, isn't Grindr the one for gay men? What? I mean, I was just talking off the top of my head, but yeah, sure, Grindr's affected by it. Wait, I've been interacting with a version. Chat, if you can't lose your virginity, it means that you're always winning. I'm a winner. Yeah, imagine losing. Losers. Grindr's literally all hookups and prostitution. Okay. Why do men have such high standards? Shake my head. No, I think what's happening is that the gap between men and women has increased so much. I think that women working and earning more money has set off a really bad expectation of like men not being the providers anymore. And I don't mean to be like, you know, oh, you're being a trad waifu, whatever. I'm not. I'm just being completely objective. I know it's gonna piss people off if I say this. I'm saying this in the sense that... How do I put this? Some men feel very emasculated when a woman earns more than them. And there's a lot of very shallow women that earn a lot of money, and then they think that they need to have a man that makes more than them or an equivalent of. I think it doesn't play into like an old, deeply rooted cultural but also biological need for women to be like the one that is supported, if that makes sense. Men feel emasculated by women that earn more than them, and women don't consider men that make less than they do. Yeah, I also think that's what dumb women think. Me, for example, I don't care. If you want to be a good husbando and you want to take care of the kids, I'm streamer, that's cool. I don't care. But I'd like to think that I am marginally less shallow and a little bit more intelligent than most girls. Just by a tad, even if it's by a percentage or two. There's a single rich woman that would date a Burger King cashier or burger flipper, but there are rich men that would. Yeah, I think that, what is it called? Didn't Prince Harry, or whoever the fuck it was, he married that girl, that American girl, and she was just like some cafe, like, lady that took care of a cafe. I forget her name. I don't care for the royal family at all. Prince Harry, she was a barista model. Yeah, she's just hot, you know, just whatever. Meghan Markle, I don't know how to say her name. Yes. Bad example, that woman stole his life, his dream, and balls. Meghan Markle? Queen Mary? I don't know. I just went off like tangent. I think women are biologically programmed to look for providers, so what happens when they provide for themselves? All the superficial stuff like looks rise to the top and they become very picky. Like I said, I think that a long time ago, like our parents and our grandparents, we lived in more tightly closed, like tight-knit communities where like you'd go out and you just see someone like at a bar and it wouldn't be considered as creepy to like get to know them and maybe like hit it off, even if they're not like super attractive. You might hit it off like on a personality like basis. Now the flicking through, God, I keep gesturing like you guys can see me, but like you're flicking through your phone and swiping, right? And you're getting like a first impression based on looks. Non 3D. Shut up! Maybe you guys will see it one day, okay? Leave me alone. Show us with your hands. I can't! Chat soon. I'm gonna actually probably go look at apartments or like houses after stream. But what I was saying is like when you flick through a phone and all you see are pictures and like maybe a tiny little blurb, it's not the same as like walking up to someone and then being like, do you want to go on a date? And then they maybe say yes. And also men don't really take rejection as well, because now if you walk up to a woman and say she's pretty, a lot of women freak out because there's a lot of creeps that take online interactions into real life and think they can say like, oh, nice tits, do you want to go out sometime? I think it goes both ways, genuinely. I think there's a lot of people who are chronically online, or at least like they see things being said online and they think they can treat women that way. But then there's also women who overreact because they see things being done online to women that exacerbate their fear of men. Like for me personally, I don't care if a man walks up to me and says, oh, you're looking mighty fine. Do you want to go out? I'll be like, I mean, no, but thanks, I appreciate it. I wouldn't schizo out at them and like call the police. But there are some women that do that now. And I think a lot of men are scared. Constantly rejected, eventually just stopped. I think it depends, man. I think a lot of men back in like the 80s and 90s probably got rejected a lot too, but it kind of doesn't faze you as much when it's in a more polite way, if that makes sense. I think people have become a lot less kind to each other. I think people are desensitized. I think online does not help at all in any way. There's polite women. I'm polite. You have muchos tetas. Let's date. I'm in. Would you pick the bear or some random dude in chat? I could not break a bear's legs. I could break chat's legs, so the guy. Are there really guys that come up and say creepy things thinking it will work? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I think we've become dissociated and there's not a lot of tight-knit communities anymore. Devolved is the right word. I feel like it's like a strong word. Distrust? No, I think that everybody is so focused on like living and pissing and shitting and working that there's no time to like be together.